space for them. In Europe, it's quite often that you'll have your washer wherever it fits. Most of the times it's in the bathroom, and I know households where it's in the kitchen. But God, these electric...
Olá pessoal, sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo desse canal. Nós somos cidadãos de terceiro mundo e nesse canal nós reagimos e aprendemos sobre o primeiro mundo. Nesse vídeo nós vamos reagir ao que choca os europeus em casas americanas.
Portanto, aproveite a oportunidade, considere se inscrever em nosso canal, clique no gostei, compartilhe esse vídeo e visite o nosso Instagram para fazer mais sugestões de conteúdos como esse. E agora, vamos para a reação.
I'm a European currently staying here in this American house, and these are little differences, sometimes major differences, that I notice. So please come on in and don't take your shoes off. Okay, this is just me being weird, but I prefer being...
Eu já achei curioso que ele começa logo na introdução. Pode entrar, mas não tire os sapatos.
These switches over the European ones. Also for the reason that it says on and off in little writings on the switch. So even if I flip it up, nothing lights up. I know I just turned something on, so I better turn it off. And there's one more thing I love about switches in US. When I first got into this house and I flipped on this switch, I noticed the light is kind of dim. Well, there is a dimmer, so you can actually move it and make it brighter. You rarely see that in a European household. You quite frequently see it here, and I'm used to the round button that you push and then you turn it, but in this house, there's like a little puller on the side that I didn't notice for a while, so I was here in the darkness.
Aqui é como da Europa também.
Now, unlike European beds where we use dimensions to tell you how big the bed is, in US, they make it simple by calling it a queen size or a king size. But let's not talk about the width. I rather want to talk about the height, because beds in US are always quite high up, and I prefer that over the European way how we do it. To be honest, I try to make my bed in my European apartment as high as possible, but it's nowhere near as high as all the American beds I sleep on. This one is extremely soft, by the way. I don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, look at it. How can someone sleep in this? So almost every room I've been to in US has another room attached to it. So you walk in and you're like, oh, what's that secret room? It's usually a closet. And doesn't matter how small the apartments are, even in New York City, there are apartments where there is a door which hides a closet. I don't know if it's good or bad, it's just different. And since we're doing differences, I figured I'd mention it. Also, the doorknobs are different, but I guess that's obvious.
Até o momento, tudo que tá mostrando aqui das casas europeias realmente parece com o que temos aqui, né? Eu não achei nenhuma similaridade com os Estados Unidos nesse caso.
I was thinking, should I make it like a separate section that I talk about the doorknobs? And I was like, no, it's obvious. And not only there's a walk-in closet in most of the rooms, there's one right there, but there's usually a bathroom attached. And I love that as a European. Every bedroom has its own bathroom in a...
Impressionante, né? A gente consegue ver aqui a similaridade que a gente tem com o nosso país em relação à Europa. E eu concordo com você. Até o momento, tudo que a gente viu aqui, eu não identifiquei nada que seja muito semelhante com o que a gente tem em nosso país. A gente, inclusive, ele até faz uma observação em relação ao armário que tem dentro do quarto. Porque na Europa, até pelo pouco que a gente sabe, não é também igual lá. Também não segue esse padrão. Então, isso é muito curioso.
There's a raccoon in the air conditioning system. We'll get to it later, but it's freaking me out. I've been in this house for a week by myself, and like, there's something under the floors. Can you imagine how scary that is? And I'm the only guy in the neighborhood without a shotgun. This is a biggie, and I can already hear you say it. American showers are stupid. You turn it on and blast into your face. I actually prefer that over the hoses. Even though this shower does have an extra hose added, most showers in US do not. There's just that faucet at the bottom and then the shower that sprays directly into your face. So you either get burned or in most cases it's very cold. Believe it or not, but at my house in Europe, I have the shower set up that when you turn on the water, it first goes from the ceiling, but it's not blasting into your face. It's kind of that, rain shower thing. Oh, that guy. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the different system of the toilet, but you can probably imagine I do not want to get into details, but I'm going to talk about flushing and the amount of water you actually use in US to water down your whatever, and in Europe, because most US toilets, or actually all of them I saw, have just that one lever. In Europe, we have two buttons. One is larger and one is smaller, and you can probably figure
mais
out
econômico.
why. And it's pretty much on all of the toilets I know now, and I think that's better. There's one thing I prefer about US toilets. I just don't want to get into details, so let's leave it. They're lower. Makes sense. Have you ever thought about it? US toilets are lower, so your needs are higher, so it's easier. Think about it. And since we're already on the John, let's talk about the partner of today's video, because it is phone related, and that is Saily. It's a super great service. It's an app that you download. Sure, you get your phone ready with an eSIM. You just buy it on your phone while at the airport when you're going somewhere. And it's cheaper than at the store. So get it. The app is called Switch On. This is something I wish every European household would have. Not a bad nor a light, but the light switch. That is right under the light bulb, so even if you don't know the light, you'll always be able to locate it. In Europe, it's always somewhere on the wire, and usually it's sort of hidden behind the table, or at least in cases I know. So once looking for the switch, you knock things over, unlike here, you can always find it. I love it. Check out the magic.
Olha, eu confesso que eu não achei muito prático a forma de ligar esse abajur. Realmente, eu não achei muito prático. Dá um certo trabalho, o botão é muito pequeno. Aqui em nosso país também a gente não segue esse padrão de abajur. Pelo menos até onde eu saiba.
Na verdade, aqui nem é muito comum ter abajur assim, né?
Am I just watching a YouTuber that's happy that he knows how to turn on and off a lamp? Yes, you are. So to heat a house in Europe, most likely you will have a radiator placed under a window. In it is hot water that will heat up your house or your apartment. In US, most often you'll come across these vents that will blow either hot or cold air, depending on the season. Right now it's winter, so it's blowing hot air. And in the summer, when it gets hot down here in Florida, you can use it as air conditioning. Currently, the fun fact about this ventilation system is that something's living inside of it. I've been in this house for a week, and we became friends over time. Right, I don't know if this is just me noticing this, but like every house I've been to in the US has a ceiling fan. I don't think I've ever seen one in Europe, or like it's very rare.
Isso
and
aqui
usually
bem
you flip on
comum,
the switch in a room and it
texto.
starts the fan, so you're trying to figure out which one of these is to turn it off. Yeah, it says Hampton Bay, it doesn't say fan or light. This kind of confuses me. And there is one more thing that kind of bothers me with these ceiling fans, which I hope is apparent and obvious from this shot. Okay, so Americans watching, which one is the light, which one is the fan? The glass or the wood? Okay, the glass is the light. Oh, no.
Ele tá falando tanto de altura. Ele é da Holanda ou algo parecido, porque ele parece ser bem alto. Realmente ele parece ser muito alto.
Oh, so there's speeds. Oh. So how do you do your laundry? 30, 40, or 60? No clue what I'm talking about? Well, you're probably not a European, but an American. Therefore, your washers don't have selection of degrees nor these crazy symbols that we have in Europe on our washers, but it's quite simple. You select the load size, small, medium, large, and then you go with temperature, warm, hot, or cold. You don't care about degrees and about, you know, all the other things that we care about, because, you know, your clothes is not going to get destroyed here, but in the dryer, which is right next door. To be honest, I prefer this over the European confusing system of symbols. And this is great, you even have like a little manual. What's a small load, what's a medium load, and how much detergent to put in. I love it. White's hot, color's warm, dark, cold. And in this, apparently you can only wash shirts. Nothing else can go into this place. Ooh. Close lid, push start. I love it. This is a dryer, and yes, if I was 11, I'd be shocked. And yes, when I was 11, most households did not have dryers in Europe. Now we have them, so all our clothes is shrunk. But this is absolutely normal in every US household, not just to have a washer and dryer, but usually to have like a separated space for them. In Europe, it's quite often that you'll have your washer wherever it fits. Most of the times it's in the bathroom, and I know households where it's in the kitchen. But God, these electric guzzling machines, clothes destroying evil creations. Hate it. Oh, and I also love the top-loading wash.
Olha, eu confesso que eu tô achando muito divertido ele mostrando as coisas que tem nessa casa onde ele tá nos Estados Unidos. Mas é curioso que ele mostrou uma imagem que a máquina de lavar roupa estava estrategicamente colocada em um lugar que parecia estar dividindo o espaço com a cozinha. Mas é muito mais interessante você fazer isso do que você colocar nesse quarto, como ele está mostrando, uma coisa muito apertada e pequena. E acaba realmente pode ficar um pouco ruim para quem estiver ali dentro, né?
Washers. Love it. Okay, this may be a weird one, but we don't have many of these at our households in Europe, and I love these. It's like a toaster/oven. So you can toast your bread, you can make a pizza in it, you can put a bagel in it, whatever. I love it. Much better than a regular toaster or a microwave. And I like how this is quite honest. So you don't really set a temperature or a time. You just tell it, oh, I'm putting in 4 loaves of bread or 4 slices of bread. So figure out the time and the temperature. Yeah, US is simple in many ways. Man, I just love it when there's a window to the garden or to the yard from the kitchen. Well, you can have that in Europe and in US, but in US, it's much easier to open the window. I mean, look here, there's stuff on the window, but you can still open it because the window slides up. Unlike in Europe, where it opens to the inside. I mean, it has other different features in Europe, but I like this better. Fridges in general in US are much bigger than in Europe, and this is not even a big one. In Europe, it's quite normal to have a small fridge under your counter. I mean, nobody has that much food, right? I'm living here alone. So those were the things I could find in an American house that always surprise me or I find different compared to a European house. Let me know what differences you see, because I'm sure you've been abroad to different houses and maybe the things that I notice are just normal and I'm a weirdo, but maybe I missed a few things. So let me know in the comments, I'm more than curious. And if you're an American, I absolutely love when Americans watch these videos and they react to them. So maybe you can do that and tell me what you think about it. So that's it from an American house, from a European's point of view. I'll see you next week on another episode of The Honest Guide. Bye-bye. Oh, check word at the end. This is skrzynia. Closet. Skrzynia. Closet.
Uma coisa que eu percebi é que na Europa parece que as coisas tendem a ser mais simples. Não tem uma coisa muito sofisticada. Na verdade, eu percebo que esse conceito de sofisticação entre o estadunidense e o europeu é bem diferente. Acho que eles vêm de uma forma diferente. Mas aqui a gente também tem algumas coisas que a gente pega, né, dos Estados Unidos, mas muito mais da Europa. Muitas coisas que a gente tem aqui se aproximam mais desse jeito europeu. Eu particularmente gosto porque acho muito prático, né?
Sim, eu também acho muito prático e eu acho que isso vem muito também pelo fato de nosso país ter sido colonizado pelos portugueses, né? E graças a eles acabaram trazendo muito desse aspecto europeu, né? Inclusive no que se refere a muitas coisas, como o interruptor, como o banheiro e várias outras coisas aqui que ele estava mencionando que é muito mais comum pra gente se identificar do que vendo alguma coisa dos Estados Unidos. Porém, a gente não pode deixar de observar aqui que tanto nas casas dos Estados Unidos quanto na Europa, ele fala que há um sistema de aquecimento. né? Isso é muito curioso. Aqui em nosso país a gente tem uma região muito fria e nem sequer nessa região também tem isso, né? Então isso é realmente impressionante.
É verdade, sem dúvidas, mas essa foi a reação desse vídeo. Então, se você gostou, aproveita para se inscrever, ative as notificações e deixe mais sugestões lá no nosso Instagram.
Muito obrigado por assistir esse vídeo e a gente se vê na próxima reação.
Tchau!